Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the Movie Club UK. This is season 2, episode 5, and today I'm joined with my one and only, the best co-host in the world, Ash.
Hi guys, we're one person short.
Yeah, we are one person short today. Our usual fellow co-star for his is off today, but we didn't want to let you guys down, and we plan to do this review today. So we're here to give you challenges. How you feeling?
I'm feeling okay, but there's just something missing right next to me, and I realise it is a 26-year-old man.
Yep.
Called for his.
I mean, he sits next to you and he sits opposite me. I'm literally feeling that emptiness as well. Like, we're so used to having this as a three-way conversation. It just being a one-on-one conversation it's different.
It's different. I feel like this is the first time I've met you.
Yeah. So do I. So I'm just thinking, who is this person?
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully today we have a good episode as we review challenges. Follow our social media pages at the Movie Club UK on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. We have actually hit a milestone.
Yay!
We have hit 200 subscribers on YouTube. I want to thank all you guys for subscribing, liking, sharing, especially with our last actual podcast episode, which was Doom Part 2. It looks like it's our most successful podcast episode so far. It's done really good numbers. There's been lots of engagement. Loads of people have come to the channel just because of that movie. So it deserves that number one spot, 100%. That's how good the movie was. The fact that, our video kind of blew up like that. Was amazing in that process. No, it's all right. In that process, we did get 200 subscribers. So yeah.
Yeah, thank you guys, and thanks for all the support so far. Was your because I don't want to say my family group chat. My brother was messaging me like 2.5k, 2.6k, and every time it reached a new milestone, he would message me, and I don't actually know what it's on now, but
I think it's about to be 2.7. I think before we got here it was like 29 something. So not 29, sorry, 260. What am I saying? Can I count?
No.
2,690 something. Oh my god. So we're very close to 2.7, and I think eventually we would reach 3k all in all. So yeah. I'm very, very happy with that video. I actually have this thing where we post a video and I don't really like to look at the views. I just look every now and again, but we don't really do it for the views. It's nice to get attention, but we don't really do it for the views. We just do it because it's a hobby, and we actually like, going cinema and discussing movies and doing these things. But every now and again you do check how the channel's doing, and when you see like a weird spike, it's like, where did
that come from?
Yeah, what's going on? It's exciting when you see just more people engage with your stuff. It makes us feel like, we're making good stuff. I feel like we make good stuff, but to get that sort of validation with numbers to support it is always great. For our 200 subscribers, we are actually going to do a giveaway, Ash.
What are we giving away? Do we know yet?
No. So we are going to do it in the form of like a movie sort of giveaway basket, like a goodie basket, but a movie themed one.
Yeah,
it could have anything in there, from snacks, from cinema tickets, from anything movie related.
Protect
movie protect.
Make sure you enter.
Yeah,
you could be getting a watch.
Absolutely. So now we've hit 200. We don't want to stop. We want to keep on going, and it will be I should say 250, but now road to 300. That's literally gonna be what we're working towards. So thank you so much, guys, for liking, commenting, subscribing, and sharing. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe.
Yes.
So Ash Breakers, I'm used to Fahis just being here, but it's just gonna be,
and it's a shame because I was actually really excited to know how you guys was gonna respond to this one. But yeah, you're gonna have to be on it today.
Okay,
it's fine. It's not a quiz today. Obviously challenges is about a lot of things, but a main theme in there is a rivalry between these two tennis players, and it made me think about the biggest rivalry in the news right now,
which is
in
Ronaldo and Messi.
Literally, no. Where have you been? So the biggest rivalry
wait. This
wasn't meant to be a quiz at all.
Yeah. Sorry. It just went over my head.
Okay.
Yeah, I know where she's going.
The biggest rivalry in the music industry at the minute. Obviously, if you guys don't know what we're talking about, it's Kendrick versus Drake. I did write down actually a couple more rivalries in just like popular culture as a whole. So we'll see if we get to those. But I just wanted to know, and I really wanted to know where both of you guys stood in this beef.
Okay.
Are you Team Drake or are you Team Kendrick?
I'm Team Kendrick.
Okay, let's move on. Let's go.
Oh, wait, you're Team Drake?
No, I'm Team Kendrick.
Oh, you're Team Kendrick. Okay.
There's nothing to discuss
here. There's nothing to discuss. Okay.
How did you feel about the diss tracks? Because do you think they've gone too far? Because I'm a little bit, are you not seeing that Drake's house is getting like shut up and stuff? And
yeah, that might not be necessary as a result of the beef.
Yeah, it's not.
It might not be someone from Kendrick's side, or I don't know what's going on there.
It's not. Don't.
But it is a good question. Is it going too far? I think absolutely yes, it's going too far. And it's more than just a rap sort of battle and beef at the moment. It's getting like real personal, real toxic. And to be fair, that's why I feel like J. Cole didn't get involved. Yeah. So J. Cole's obviously cool with Drake and he's cool with Kendrick. He's cool with both of them. But I think he released a track called 7 Minute Drill where he's kind of said, diss Kendrick, saying that his albums are not classic and all that kind of stuff. But I think he's done that because of Kendrick's, what was that song on the Futures album? Like that. Yeah. So Kendrick's verse on Like That basically says like, bun the big three, which the big three was Drake, J. Cole, and he's just said it's big me, it's just me, Kendrick. So he's saying no one's on his level. And I think J. Cole's taken to that and be like, whoa, I don't think so. Let me, spar you a little bit. And I think because they have a good relationship, I think either he was reached out to directly by Kendrick himself or someone from his team and said, no. It's not that kind of beef. It's not about who's the best. It's not about competitive rap. Kendrick really doesn't like Drake.
He doesn't. And news to me is that this has been a decade-long beef
10 year
that I did not
beef.
even know necessarily was going on. Because here's the thing is, do you not feel like any like diss tracks and stuff, they don't really get that personal, or any references they've made to each other in the last 10 years? They've been really indirect. So to get to this point now where
it's been, their diss tracks has been ambiguous. Isn't there? Not diss tracks, sorry, the music they make has been ambiguous. So you can have a line or two. Jay-Z was really good at it, by the way. You would have a line or two where you're like, is he talking about me? But there's no names to it, so you could only say if the shoe fits, that sort of thing. And it wasn't really concrete, but that's been going on for about 10 years, right? And I think in even one of Kendrick's disses, he says to Drake, surprised you reached out for a feature when we have stuff to address. So I think he reached out for a feature for them to be on that, is it First Person Shooter? What's the song called? The one with J. Cole, Drake and J. Cole?
First Person Shooter.
Yeah, First Person Shooter, yeah. So they've reached out to obviously Kendrick, and Kendrick's is disgusted by it, knowing that we've had a ongoing thing for a long time now. Don't try to send me that and think everything's all right. And I really think they've told J. Cole, mate, step out the way because this is not...
I saw a funny tweet where someone was like, everyone wants J. Cole to get involved, and J. Cole's like, guys, I know these guys, I'm not involved.
I'm not involved. It's not what I thought it was, all right? Like, these are, they have some sort of big thing going. And I think Kendrick's winning it at the moment. However, it's really weird because I do believe Drake has dropped the best song.
Family Matters.
Okay,
I was going to ask you, what track do you think has been the best so far? Because what's your favourite and what's been the best?
Okay, best and favourite, there's two, different things. Best is... No, I'll start with favourite. Favourite is Family Matters. I'd literally jammed to that. And the second verse and the third verse from Drake, I think that's some of his best stuff in a long time. However, this is just a 1v1 diss. I think on that song, he's talking to a lot of people. A$AP Rocky, Rick Ross, Future, Metro. He's talking to quite a lot of people. The most damaging or best diss for me is Meet the Grams.
Oh, okay.
Grams,
you know what?
Grams.
My sister, she thinks that's literally hits the soul so much.
Do you know, it's just jaw dropping. So I think I woke up in the morning, I've seen that they've released music. I've gone to Family Matters first because sonically, I won't lie to you. I do like the way Drake raps, if that makes sense, sonically.
He sounds good. Like, everything sounds really good.
Yeah.
Even if he's talking rubbish, it sounds good.
I like the way Drake raps, and I know he could put stuff well together. So I've gone, okay, let me listen. And I think he did drop Family Matters first. So I thought, let me listen to that first. Listen to it, and I'm like, oh, this is quite good from Drake. Like, this is proper. Like, this is good. And then I said, oh, what? Kendrick dropped 10 minutes later. Oh, what the hell? Okay.
Literally.
I pressed it, and best believe I was shaking in the inside, because I'm like, what is going on? It starts with Dear Adonis, and you're like, oh my
gosh, not the kids.
What is going on? And then Dear Sandra, then Dear Dennis, then Dear Aubrey, and then Dear Baby Girl. Like, yeah, that was so, like, if we're talking about disses, he's ripping him apart as a person. He's talking to his kid and saying, oh, dad's trash. He's talking to his mum saying, you've raised a piece of crap. And to mum and dad, you've raised a piece of crap.
Yeah.
Really. And he's made out to seem like another deadbeat dad who's disowned, or not disowned, but not got involved in another secret child's life. Whether it's true or not, who knows? But it's happened to Drake before, so it can happen to him again. So that was probably the most damaging one. But I think in general, the Not Like Us one it's going number one.
Do you know what? I first heard it, I was like, okay, these are kind of low shots. They're shots, but these are quite lowbrow. Like, I could have made these things up, but it goes crazy in the car.
Yeah.
Every time I get in the car.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cold.
And someone said that's the type of music that gets played in the NBA final. And like,
it is with those NBA stadium speakers. Yeah, no. But I don't want to say I'm Team Kendrick, because loads of people I feel like were waiting for the demise of Drake. And I feel like Drake tried to hold his own as much as he could in this one. And like I said, he did release my favorite track, but just the place, Kendrick knew that song was supposed to be Drake's like bomb. He dropped something 10 minutes later that was so damaging that we forgot about that.
And you know what, like, Family Matters, it did not get the recognition it deserves. It actually was good. And it's got a lot of replay value. But Kendrick beat him at his own game.
He did, and I'll say he's won because Drake's on the most recent song we've all heard up to this point. Is it From the Heart? The Heart Part 6, which plays on Kendrick's songs, because Kendrick got all the Hearts Part 1 to 5, and Drake's done the Heart Part 6, so we're not getting Part 6 from Kendrick because Drake's done that. But on that one, he's saying he doesn't want to rap no more, and that this is getting weird, and that he doesn't care if Kendrick got another 10 songs or whatever. And to me, at that point, I'm like, yeah, he's lost. Because he didn't start the beef by saying this. He started off with a few songs. I think the first one, Push Ups, when it was like, the chorus like, drop. And drop is basically saying, Kendrick, drop a song. And then in another verse on another song, he's saying to Kendrick, I know you're in that NY apartment thinking of triple entendres and trying to figure out how you're going to respond. So he's doing all of that to then say, I know you got another 10 tracks for me. Yeah, whatever. I'm not rapping no more. This is getting it. Yeah, he's like that kid when you play football and they lose and they take their ball home. Yeah, he's taking the ball home. And
yeah,
like, I'm not.
Much.
Yeah, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I just feel like Kendrick has won for me because he's just like, basically, he's covered all topics, but really and truly, he's just saying, I don't like you. I don't like the way you dress. I don't like the way you walk. I don't like anything about you. And I feel like that's what I'm like when I don't like someone. I'm not, double entendre.
You're just directly.
Reasons why. It's just, I just don't like your face.
Yeah. That's it. It's as simple as that. And I do think there will be one more from Kendrick. I don't think he's going to let Drake get away with that. The Heart Part 6. I think he should just let it. You think so?
Yeah, because Drake, everyone's saying Drake's lost, and I think
everybody's saying Drake's lost, but Kendrick being Kendrick, I feel like Not Like Us was a victory song, but I feel like he'll give us another one. And Drake said he's not he's literally said you can drop another 10 tracks, blah, blah, blah. Normally, when it's like when the last person says something, they win the argument. I think maybe potentially we know he's won, but he might just dance all over him a little bit and just shut him up, because Kendrick obviously has some things to address, which he has already with him, like accusations beating his wife and and apparently his manager being the baby dad of his kid. Allegedly. Yeah, we say allegedly on this channel. So I do think he might have one more response to that, and regardless, Drake said he's not responding, so I think that's that. My winner is Kendrick.
So is mine. And for his, we'll tell you next week or next time.
That's if he was plugged in. How did you know I was plugged in? Because I could have been like, what are you talking about?
I always knew. I think anyone like our age and anyone like really under like a certain age and who's been listening to this music all the time, everyone's plugged in. I feel like people even at work are probably talking about this.
Yeah,
like,
probably. Yeah, probably. Apparently there's professors that are talking about it, giving their takes on, you know, who's won and, you know, all sorts. But yeah, Team Kendrick. But
yeah, that is the Ashbreaker.
Yeah,
and Music Club UK apparently.
Yeah, the Music Club UK, maybe. Yeah, but I don't know what we'll title that video or that section, but let's see. But it'll be like, it's a bit of a weird one talking about Drake and Kendrick, but we must, because that's the hot topic at the moment. So it makes sense, and it does tie in perfectly to challenges. Where we do have a rivalry going on.
Yes.
So we are now going to talk about challenges, and what we may say may contain spoilers. So if you have not seen the movie, you know what to do. Pause it, enjoy the Ashbreaker, pause it, and come back, because we will be talking about the film. So yeah, let's go. Actually, I do read a synopsis first.
Yes.
I do. See, for his just not being here,
it's just throwing me off.
Just throws me off. Yeah, but yeah, I do read a synopsis, so I'll give it to you guys, right? It says, Tashi, a tennis player turned coach, has transformed her husband from a mediocre player into a world-famous Grand Slam champion. To jolt him out of his recent losing streak, she makes him play a challenger event, close to the lowest level of tournament on the Pro Tour. Tensions soon run high when he finds himself standing across the net from a once promising, now burnt-out Patrick, his former best friend and Tashi's former boyfriend. So yeah, that was a synopsis. Let's get into it.
Expectations or?
Yeah, we could start off with expectations. My expectations for this one, I thought I would enjoy it. I think I saw the trailer maybe a month or 2 months before the film was released, maybe a smaller trailer to the final trailer that did come out. And I didn't think it would go in this direction. Yeah. I thought it would be a bit naughty, but I thought we would get more of a story from Zendaya's point of view about, you know, her being the tennis player. I do know that in the trailer, she does get approached about becoming the coach for these two guys who I don't know who they are at the point of the trailer. But I'm not thinking whatever I watch is not what I thought was going to happen, essentially.
Same kind of. I probably saw the trailer maybe a year ago, because I do like Zendaya, so I do keep up with all her work. So I saw the trailer ages ago. And then when I knew we were doing it for the podcast, I was like, okay, I'm actually not going to watch the trailer again. I'm actually going to stay away from everything, and I'm going to try and watch this film like completely with a blank slate. I've watched the trailer a year ago. So I didn't actually have many expectations. I actually didn't think I was going to enjoy this. I thought I was going to love Zendaya in it, but whether I was going to actually enjoy the movie, I didn't think so. And I didn't know what it was about. Yeah. I couldn't work that out. I remember watching the trailer and I'm like, I can't work out what this is about. Is it like is she coaching both of them to try and beat each other? Yeah. And is that going to be the main crux? Is that they're both like, that is the point of the story, is that she's coaching both of them, like giving them the same techniques, and they're going to find out that his or
even some, I thought maybe would get to a point where she coaches them, and then she's really like, she is deeply in love with both of them, and then she's finding it hard to pick, you know, or she's training both of them at the same time simultaneously, and it's like she then gets to the point where, because, you know, they both have like relationships with them both, is like she then doesn't know who to put all her time and effort to. Like, she's just split on who to. That's what I thought we were getting. I thought we were getting like a fair sort of, you know, I like this guy, I'm training them both, I've fallen in love with them both, and now I got to decide who I want to be with, because, you know, one of them will win and one of them will lose, etc., etc. I thought that's what we're getting. Is that what we got?
Not really, no. Not really. I don't know how to describe this movie. I really would just say a character study about three very toxic people in a tennis setting, and I don't know where to go from there. Okay,
you mentioned toxic. I like that you mentioned toxic. I don't know whether we should get into this now. Yes, let's get into it now. Yeah, toxic. There was a point in the film where I said, she's a bad person.
I think that was probably from the first 5 minutes.
First 5 minutes?
The way she was talking to her husband in like the first 5 minutes, I was like, oh, wow. And Zendaya herself as a celebrity, she's very likable. So when that first 5 minutes and she was just like, he was like, oh, I love you or something.
And she was like, I know you do.
I know you do or something. I was like, whoa.
I was like, my wife can't say that to me. That's what I was like, my wife can't say that to me. It's like, what's going on? Like, I don't know. Are they going through a rough period in their life? Or at that point, I'm thinking, why did she give him that sort of response?
Yeah.
But the film, I wouldn't say it does it well. At first, I was thinking, okay, I was differentiating between the present and the past. And to be fair, they did a good job in terms of, you know, dress wear, makeup and whatnot, because the lads and Zendaya both look younger. They did look about, oh God.
I have stuff to say about that.
For me, they did look younger. That helps me to differentiate whether we're in the present or the past. And when we did go into her past, I thought Zendaya they took about 10 years off her.
I don't think so.
No?
I think in general, she's a great actress. Everyone's going to think, because I had things to say about her in the Doom video. So everyone's going to think I love Zendaya in Euphoria specifically. In this, do you not think she's meant to play like a 32-year-old with a kid? And then we flash back to the past and she's like 17 or whatever. I don't think she's old enough to play that older character. And you got to think about it. I think filming was in 2022 and it was delayed because of the writer's strike. So filming was 2022. She was about 25 in 2022. She was our age. Could you play a 32-year-old father, Media? Could I play a 32-year-old mother?
No.
Thank you. Well, I'm not a professional. Well,
now you put it like that. Yeah. Now you put it like that. It made sense. And to be fair, maybe we should take the mother part out of the equation because I felt like the kid was irrelevant. There was no point. I don't know why. Maybe they added it for effect and said, oh, wow, she's got that far in her life with
this
Art Donaldson or whatever his name is, played by Mike Face. Yeah. Maybe they put the daughter there for a point to prove, she's gotten that far with him. They're married. They got a kid. The kid's like 7, 8, 9. I don't know. They're that far in. Maybe that's what they used over. Other than that, I didn't look at that movie thinking you're a mother. I didn't. Yeah, I did. Yeah, so true. I get what you're saying. I didn't literally think, oh yeah, this is a mother. She was just there. It wasn't. Yeah, I didn't actually deep it at the time, but yeah, you're right. It's not believable, is it?
It's not believable, but then I do think Zendaya was really, really good in this role. It's just I do think they maybe tried to age her up a lot, and I just know the celebrity way too much or the actress way too much, and maybe it was just my own, what's it called, bias.
But so, what did you think about then Josh O'Connor, which was the actor for Patrick Zwieig, and Mike Face, which was Art Donaldson?
I think they were like looks wise. I feel like they did play the 10 years before, 10 years after.
I think it worked for them.
I think it worked, and I'm actually being really picky here because I do think it worked. I did know what was the past and the present, but yeah, no, for me I believe it worked 100%, because at one point I even said to myself, wait, are these the same guys? Oh yeah, really? They are. Yeah, oh yeah, they are. Like I had that like switch where I'm not too familiar with both of them. I've seen some of their work, but more of Josh O'Connor, I'm more familiar with his work, but Mike Face, no, I'm not at all. So I was thinking, is that him? Is that not? Okay, it does seem like it is actually him. So that was quite realistic, the portrayals of their characters in terms of age. You mentioned earlier toxic people. Explain to us what point Zendaya, let's start with Zendaya's character, Tashi. How is she toxic? I said first 5 minutes, the way she was talking to her husband, I was like, whoa. And then how she was acting on the tennis court, I was like, this can't be a loving relationship here. And then we go 10 years or 13 years into the past and we see that they meet her at her tennis party, winners party.
Or they see her play tennis first.
Yeah, they hang out with her and they invite her back to the hotel room. And then that scene happens, that is in the trailers.
I hate that scene.
So here's the thing. Do you know who I went to the cinema with?
Who?
My mum and my uncle.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. So to be honest, I couldn't. I think a lot of people have loved that scene. My brother, when he went to go see it, he said the whole cinema was cracking up during the whole scene. I was just in my seat, like, cringing, because I was like, this is just...
I was by myself and I was cringing. I was like cringing. What is going on? Like, I just didn't know what we were about to see. I didn't know if we were going to see the full thing, or I just didn't know.
I didn't know where it was going to stop.
Yeah. I think that's what I was getting. And I was by myself. I wasn't with like yourself, with your mum or uncle. I was by myself, and I was still getting anxiety of where is it going here? Because I know it was a 15 rated film. Sometimes you just don't know how far 15 rated films will take it, because we did see a couple penises in the film, and we did.
Yeah, we did.
Like, guys in the shower, in the shower, and they're just walking around, and it's like, okay.
There's an argument there. We always see naked women, but anyway, that's
okay.
I digress.
Okay, but then that's 18 plus, no, or whatever. What category is 18 plus? Yeah, 18 plus.
Always. Okay, you know.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, I just didn't know where it was going.
I did not know where.
Yeah, I didn't know where it would stop, and I didn't really like that scene at all.
See, I didn't like it because of how I was watching it. However, that was the first time I kind of clocked onto
what she's doing.
Yeah, not that she was just mean to her husband, to the fact that she was actually super manipulative.
Yeah, that
she'd got these boys riled up, and then she knew what she was doing. She was manipulating. It was all. I feel like
she loved being that center of attention.
That scene without my mum next to me, I could probably pick up on what she was doing and trying to do. So yeah.
So on, let's say, Patrick's side, how was he toxic?
He's just a bit sinister and he's just a bit off. Do you not think?
Yeah. Toxic in the form of he's like every other guy, every other, typical teenager, young adult or whatever that just turns out to be a lame because of their ways. They don't change their ways when they grow up. It was just typical, to be honest. He didn't do anything crazy, but toxic in the sense where probably every other girl he was interested at the time.
He was, and then in the present, he was literally finding people on Tinder so that he could literally stay with them, sleep over. So yeah, he is.
But then it was weird because there's a point where Tashi, Zendaya, mentions that he comes from a wealthy family. So what the hell is he sleeping in his car for? And
so I've got to bring this up about of what like something I noticed about the movie. I don't know if I completely hate it yet, but something I noticed and something that the director is known for is that
the director Luca Guadagnino. Yeah. I'm not familiar with his work, but yeah.
I haven't watched anything he's in, but apparently in his previous film, or his most well-known film, he also done this technique where anything that you see on screen, you don't really get any kind of backstory to it. What you see on screen is what is all you're meant to take from.
Yeah, and you're supposed to make up conclusions
in your mind. So yeah, literally I was like, I heard that he was wealthy as well. Why is he living out of his car and scamming people?
Yeah.
But we don't get any answers to that.
No.
We even Zendaya being a mum, we never get really answers to that. Like, we don't get any. I was saying that she's like she's a bit of a bully and she's quite mean. And in my head, naturally I made the connection. Oh, her coach, who's probably her parent, must be a bully as well, and that's where she's learned it from. But we don't actually get any kind of backstory on why she is the way she is. We ain't get no backstory.
We don't understand her upbringing, why she's the way she is. Like, she starts off as this young prodigy of a tennis player that is going places. Like, I would have been interested in seeing, what made her great. Why was she great? And just more of a backstory. I wanted to be interested in like the story, like the tennis side of the story. I don't know why, because tennis is not really my sport, but I was really interested in that side of things, and I think that was skipped over a lot in this film, and we were just focusing on, I guess, Tashi and the relationship with the boys. But I wanted more. I thought I was getting a bit more tennis.
Yeah.
And I didn't get that.
I thought it was ramping up to something big that was going to completely change the dynamics of everything that was happening. Yeah. My mum was saying, "Oh, I thought the daughter might have been Patrick's child," and I was like, that's not my favorite like reveal. I think that's a bit cheap. But I was like, okay, that is a reveal, and that would make sense as to why we are building up to something. But it's not. It was really just the relationships on screen.
I felt like it would have been nice. Again, I'm talking about the tennis side of things. If those two guys, Patrick and Art, versed each other maybe in that USA finals like USA Opens fight. If they face each other in the final, it's like this big thing, two big stories, but they're in a challengers competition,
which is pretty low level, right?
Lowest level of like obviously probably professional tennis. They were in that competition and Art was struggling. And he's supposed, and his story, he was supposed to be this successful, tennis champion who's on a losing streak at the moment. That's fine. You could be on a losing streak, but not to the level that you're playing at challengers. Obviously, it makes sense with the title challengers, but it just disturbed. How do we get all the way down here to be playing your buddy in high school? And it's almost like this is a fair sort of competition where it's only in the last set that you win. And you won because he threw the game. I
don't know how he ended up. All I know is that she signed him up for it. But then I'm like, okay, I don't really know why.
She wanted to install some confidence. She was saying, let's get your confidence up. But yeah, the tennis side of things I just didn't like. I'm a big sports fan. When we talk about stories, I like the come up. I like seeing those scenes. Even when we talked about Creed from last season, I like seeing the training scenes when they're in battle and they're getting. I like all of that because then that final scene, it's like they put in the work. We've seen the journey. We didn't get that from this film.
We didn't get that. It wasn't. I was maybe expecting a classic sports film. Yeah. Mine's probably not Creed. Mine's is a film called Bring It On. Okay. I don't know if you've ever watched it. It's cheerleading, and I'll stop there. But yeah.
Yeah, but maybe we misjudged what this film was supposed to be. That's what we said in expectations. Maybe we did misjudge it, but off the basis of just the poster, hearing Serena Williams and Venus Williams are going to be there and all that kind of stuff at the premiere, you're just thinking, oh, this is going to be some tennis stuff, like, proper, and it wasn't. It
was about the love triangle. And there is a metaphor there. I don't know if you heard this one, but essentially the love triangle is like a tennis match. She was going from him to him. I was
okay, so we spoke about Patrick. What about Art? How is Art toxic? Because people say on the second, people who have decided to watch this film twice have said that Art, well, you realize that Zendaya's character Tashi is not the real villain and it's Art. And I just said, whatever.
No, not. But then he did what's it called? Dirty Mackin?
Yeah, he did.
His friend.
Mackin, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And told Tashi that Patrick doesn't actually love her or whatever. So that's probably where the toxicity comes in. But really and truly, he's just not. He's not.
That was so lame.
It was very lame.
That was so lame. And then now, there was, when she twisted her foot, or she broke her foot, or I say foot, it was her knee or snap, whatever she done, injury. And she was in the rehabilitation room, and Patrick's obviously come after. They've had an argument, and Art is like, I don't know, he told him to get out. Maybe he said a cuss word or something like that, but he screamed at him. She just said, I don't want to see you. And he's all piped up and saying, get out. And I'm like, mate, that's his girl, not yours.
Literally.
That's his girl. And I know they both obviously liked her and whatnot, but you have certain level. I think, me saying this, but in the past, probably, secondary school or something, I've probably liked the same girl as one of my friends in secondary, but it's one that whoever gets the girl, him or me, once that's done, that's done. It's done. And we're friends and you're my guy. And it's just we pretend that situation never happened. You don't start plotting on my guy's situation and telling the girl, yeah, my guy, he's actually a bad guy. He doesn't really like you. He doesn't. That is just, it's lame. If you do that, you just come across as weak. And I just saw him as a victim.
I saw him as, weak and just submissive is the word.
I think my favorite scene, or the most intense scene where I was just like, oh, what's going on here, was when Tashi was actually, she did break up with Patrick when they were in the bedroom arguing, and he was just like, you're not my coach.
Yeah.
That's the difference between Patrick and the difference between Art, because Patrick is a man. I feel like he's a man, proper man, and being like, what the hell? Don't tell me what to do.
Yeah.
You're my girlfriend, not my coach. And
not when we're even intimate.
When we're being intimate, you're talking about tennis and saying I should do this and do that and do this. I'll be like, no, that's a bit too much for me. Like, relax, chill. Where art is like, tell me what to do. I'll listen to you. Yes, miss. I love you so much. I'll do whatever you want. And that's a bit of, okay, he's a man as well. But in my mind, he's a weaker man for that.
He is.
You should be in the middle where you do want to take advice from your girl, but when it's appropriate. I feel like Patrick didn't want to take advice at all. No matter what the situation was. So you have to come to the middle and be like, okay, take advice from her when you're not being intimate. That's cool. But then I think art, you didn't have no backbone. This woman was forcing him to play tennis up till what age?
Yeah, that's the thing, is that you realise art doesn't have the passion for tennis, but he has the work ethic. He will work for it. And then Patrick has the passion, but not the work ethic.
Not the work ethic. Yeah.
So I do.
And I
like
guess maybe
that.
that's where they then meet at the. I just don't like how they met in the lowest sort of competition. Like, it doesn't sit right with me.
Like, where's the stakes? Where's the tension here? I didn't really get that part. I also just feel like them two as rivals. I only really talking to you, I'm kind of putting them in boxes, but I don't feel like their characters were defined enough. I think Zendaya's, yes.
Yeah.
Or Tashi, yes. But their characters, they weren't defined enough for me. I don't know if you'll agree, because I know that art is weak and submissive, and then Patrick is, in my head, it's just like sinister, a bit no work ethic kind of thing.
Yeah, but he has a strong personality.
Personality, but what is the personality? I don't know. I could have had a bit more definition of Patrick's character in particular, but I do think he was really good on screen. Yeah, he did capture a lot of the scenes. So
you know, it's just one of those ones where you just look back on it and you just think, yes, all three are toxic, but for different reasons, you know, and they all get what they deserve in the end. That Patrick deserves to be a bum. Zendaya deserves to... What did she even get? She didn't really get anything coming to her. You know what annoyed me? When I think art does find out what happens between Tashi and Patrick, because I think Patrick did something with his racket that kind of alluded to, I slept with your wife, because I think earlier, 10 years earlier, when Art wanted to find out information about Patrick and Tashi's relationship, he said, okay, cool, you don't have to tell me anything, but by, you know, what you do with your racket, you will let me know if you've been intimate or if you've done this or if you've done that. And there was an action that Patrick showed with his racket to show, we have been intimate.
I thought that was kind of, even I in the cinema was like, no, you didn't okay.
I was like, but then you think something was supposed to come out of that.
True.
Because her face was petrified and mortified that she's realized he's put two and two together. She doesn't know how, because she doesn't know about that symbolism with the racket. But the look that Art gives her, she knows that, that sort of thing. But there was no consequences. We didn't get to see the consequences. We end up seeing him win the match. And
who won the match? Because I feel like this is being debated online.
Oh, is it? I thought Art won the match. Even though he crosses the line, I thought they've given it to him. I don't know.
I feel like, okay, I might be wrong. There's debates online on who won it and why Zendaya's reaction was the way that it was, but I guess...
So we saying that because I can't remember the end now.
I actually can't remember.
Do we remember who won officially or no?
They embraced at the end, but we don't officially know. And I listened to an interview with the director and the screenwriter. He was like, I don't really want to give away kind of what happened, so I'm going to leave it quite vague.
Really?
So, but did he win? Because I wasn't really...
I don't know. In my opinion, he's crossed the line. I know I don't know if it's a technical foul, whatever rules you have in tennis. But he's kind of jumped over the kind of barrier thing. So I don't know. Literally, it's gone over my head. But from when she put two and two together, that he knows that they've been together, I thought we were going to get more like juice from the film, and we didn't. The film was literally coming to an end, and I'm just like, what? So what's the point? Like, literally, what is the point? Where's the accountability? Where is the consequences? Where is that we actually realize you're a mean person, like not just me watching on screen, but Art and everybody else around the situation, and even Patrick himself to realize, no, you ain't nothing. Like, okay, cool, we've done that, but this was actually my friend as well, and I feel sorry for him. And they're all bad. They're all terrible. They're terrible people.
Terrible people. And but I feel like that's all it was, and I'm just like, that's. So it didn't work for me, but I know for some people they have enjoyed it.
So what are we saying? Are we saying Zendaya, she was great in this, or?
I do feel like I think she was really good in this, but then I just don't think the film itself gave any of them a chance to shine. But they clearly had the ability, but I don't think she could have had an outstanding like moment. I think maybe the one scene where I was like, wow, was when she was talking to Patrick outside in an alleyway, and he was like, I want you to coach me. And she was like, I think you're basically how Kendrick thinks about Drake. Yeah. I hate you. I don't like anything about you.
Yeah, I thought that as well.
You're awful. And she was really mean to him. And I was like,
but then she still took his number.
And she still,
I thought she would took the number and then scrunch it and put it on the floor. But she put it in her pocket. As soon as she put it in her pocket, I'm like, yeah. She'll be calling that number for whatever reason. I thought maybe to coach him, but it was to do something else. Like, her motivations just for me didn't make sense. Like, you want Art to win so much, so he decides to stay in tennis, and you would end up being intimate with his previous best friend whilst you're married and whilst you have a kid at that cost. Does it make sense? Is there people like this on Earth?
Apparently.
That's the questions I was asking. I'm like, it's never that deep, is it?
It's not, but it's also like, when you come back from the film, it's like, did anything she do, was it really that wrong? I don't agree with adultery.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, because the consequences, like you said, were so low and the film didn't really go anywhere, it's like, I left the film thinking, did any of them do anything really that wrong? I don't care anymore. Like,
well, you don't care, they did, but yeah.
But they did, but I don't know. I'm really like lost on how I actually feel about
how you
this
feel
film.
About
yeah.
It. Yeah.
That's why we need for his back.
Yeah, to give us some guidance, you know, and some perspective, make us see things differently. But we're saying Zendaya did a good job as
She
Tashi.
did do a good job. Do you feel like the other two as well?
I feel like on Zendaya, she did do a good job. I felt like she played herself. I know you follow Zendaya, so you think she's sweet and everything, but I just felt she might have a mean side to her. And I think that might be testament to how good she was, because I took that character as Zendaya. That's her personality. That's how I took it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, poor Tom Holland.
Yeah. I was thinking Tom Holland art. I don't know. Is she bullying him? Is she forcing him to act? I don't know. Like, you know, so that's a testament to her. I think she was great. The other guys, Josh O'Connor and Mike Face. Like I said, I'm not familiar with Mike Face at all. Josh O'Connor actually won a Golden Globe for the best performance by an actor in a television series in 2021. I don't know what that series was, but he did win that. So, and he was in Peaky Blinders for like a few episodes in like season 2.
I have not seen him in Peaky Blinders, but I'm thinking about it now. I'm like, yeah, he does suit.
He does look like he was from
Birmingham lifestyle, sure.
Yeah, so you know, I'm a little bit familiar with him. I felt like they were both okay. I did question, you know, if they were, you know, gay or not, by, you know, what we saw.
I questioned whether they were in love as well, and I don't know what the film was trying to push there. But there was really close friends.
Yeah,
or was there tension there?
Yeah, you felt like, you know, when, and I know the tension came over Tashi, but it just felt like, yo, do you like guys like each other? Like, you know, what is actually going on? Like, there's a few scenes where I thought maybe it could get cracking. You know, when in the sauna, I'm like, what are we gonna see? Like, honestly, I don't want to see any more of this. So please, I was watching like this just in case, but yeah, nothing happened. So that was all right. But I think they did all right, to be fair.
I think they did a good job. I know Josh O'Connor's getting a lot of praise for his role in this. I would say, like, he was very, I don't know what the word is, like, very engaging every time he was on the screen, and he had this like really strange smile, not strange because it's his smile, but just you don't really know what the smile was saying, whether he was annoyed, angry, you didn't know whether he was taking the mick out of them, I don't know. So I do think he was really good. I
thought also, moving on from the actors, the cinematography on this movie I think was sensational.
Yeah.
Very, very sensational in terms of like, I do complain like it wasn't Tennessee and I say Tennessee. It wasn't like a lot of tennis, but when they were playing tennis, I felt like the way it was captured, you know, cinema wise, it was brilliant. Yeah. It was brilliant. The back and forth and the audience going, duh.
Yeah. That part where it was like they attached the camera to the tennis ball.
Yeah.
And it was, saw that.
At a point, I thought it was 3D. I felt one like come at me, a tennis ball come at me. So I felt that was really good stuff. The cinematographer, forgive me for the name, it's Sayambuhu Mukdiprom.
I did see this.
Yeah, she's. I say she. Let me be careful. It might be a he, they. It could be whoever. From Thailand. I'm not familiar with their work either, but this is the first maybe Western film. They're from Thailand, so it's just maybe first Western film that they're doing, or big film, I should say, that they're doing. So shout out to them. It was good stuff.
It was good. Slight criticism. It was like I was watching music video at times, which I enjoyed. Some people might not like that because it was a bit music video like for me, but you can't say it was boring.
No, you can't.
All the scenes were really really fun to watch.
And I would say in part of that cinematography, the writing in terms of going back and forth. At first, I did like going back and forth in terms of present and past and present, past, whatever. But it got to a point where I was like, this is getting really confusing.
That second half, I was confused and I didn't care anymore.
Yeah. I was like, where are we? Okay, it doesn't matter.
I actually thought the first
as it goes along, we'll figure out where we are, whether it's past or present. But you know, at first it was all right, and then after, you just keep doing it. And why are you doing it? Because these things are not even, to me, they're not important.
They're not relevant, and it is like, yeah, you can see the 10 years ago, 10 years before. Those scenes, like, they were good in the first half. The first half was actually really strong. Second half, we're going back a week ago, and my brain just couldn't really comprehend at what point, where are we, does Tashi stand with these two men?
You don't know.
I couldn't really understand. But also, it's not even that I couldn't understand. I just lost. I lost that interest. It lost intensity for me by the second half. Yeah.
Fair enough. Do you have any numbers for us, Ash?
I do indeed. Okay, so the budget for this film was 55 million. And so far in the box office, it's made 55.4 million. So it's made what it's spent.
55.4 million. Yeah.
Do you know, here's the thing, is that you have to put it into context of the numbers that we've been hearing for the last year that we've been doing this podcast. 100 million, 200 million.
Yeah, so it's not that great, is it?
It's good for what the film is, because I saw another stat which was that the film made 6.2 million on its first day and 15 million in its opening weekend, marking the best opening weekend for Guadagnino's career so far, and of Zendaya's non-IP films. So like Spider-Man, Dune. This has been her best film so far. So this is
better than Dune.
No, non-IP. Like Spider-Man has.
Yeah.
So in context, this is actually kind of like more of an independent film. It was meant to premiere at the Venice Film Festival, but because of the writer's strike, they couldn't do that. So it was meant to be this like independent film, and I think it's just Zendaya's backing has made it seem like it's a bigger film than it was ever intended to be. But so I think they've done pretty well.
For me, it's okay numbers. I mean, if we were to rank budgets and rank, profitability and rank how successful money-wise these films are, it's not that high on
so far. It has made back what it spent, which is a
phew. We nearly flopped, but
that is a tick for me.
It's a tick, but it's just I like the films that completely break their budget and they go. I done accounting. I should know the correct term for it. Gross, what they gross, or the total revenue, or one of those things. I like the films that completely obliterate what they've spent.
Yeah, my economics degree is being wasted on this.
You should be better with the technical terms here. But that's good. Even though for his is not here, he has actually sent us a few reviews from what people think about this film. So we have a positive review and we have a negative review. I'll give us the positive review first. It says, challenges. If you are asking, was the challenge relationships or tennis? Both in this 2024 movie, whatever that means. I like this movie quite a bit. Let's start with the music. The music fits extraordinarily well with the sport and intimate scenes. The timing and placement is also great, gives the movie great balance. Zendaya is brilliant as Tashi in this role. Looks, walks, talks so well, it's very intriguing. Two bros have some interesting scenes as well. Thought three of them played off each other and the court well, especially through the sweat, tears, love, topped off with sex and sets. Movie's a little long but captivating enough. Occasionally there's spewing out lines too fast. I missed a few lines what was said. I would suggest watching the movie. So this person would recommend the movie. I do get what they were saying in that first line. They were now saying, was this about relationships or tennis? For us, we said relationships and that love triangle, not really tennis. They said both.
Yeah. I would say I needed a bit more tennis in that, which is, I didn't have to be like a sports film, but I needed a bit more. I need to know stakes and what this sport means to people.
Yeah.
And I don't think I really got that. I kind of understood what it meant to Tashi, but at the same time, she broke her knee. So you also didn't get how devastating that was to her whole career.
Yeah.
Like to her whole personality.
Yeah.
Tennis was her personality and now whatever. So yeah. Yeah, it was way more about relationships, if you want
I agree. The second one, waste of time. Ash, I don't know if you want to read it. Did you get the message from Fizz? Ash,
go ahead. I've got no service.
Okay, no worries. What network?
BT. Don't ask. Family plan, don't ask.
We are not sponsored by BT, by the way, and we're not sponsored by my EE plan that we're working, but I just like to point that out there.
If they do want
to sponsor us, then, you know, take from it what you will. She doesn't have service, I do. Another review says, waste of time. Poor camera work, poor montage, basic and unstimulating story. Too much build up, no payoff, poorly organized, retrospective storytelling timeline. Wouldn't recommend this movie. When it comes to actors, I have nothing bad to say. They were on point, but didn't have the camera work, story, or any other of the important movie aspects to back them up. This movie is not to be felt or intellectually stimulating. Plain story focused on physical, no mind games, no emotion, no complexity. Retrospective snatches in a catastrophic moment and absolutely kills and this person can't write properly, and barely existing vibes. Wouldn't recommend this movie. Overall, bad experience, wasted time and money. I wouldn't go that far to say a waste of time and money. I mean, Zendaya was heading it. It's worth seeing. She was a producer in this. You are a fan of Zendaya. I do like Zendaya. She's very, very pretty to look at as well. So don't mind seeing her face on the screen. However, for me, it didn't live up to...
There were parts of that I did agree with.
Yeah, it didn't live up to the hype, and I agree with some parts. I didn't agree
with the camera work part, because I actually thought the camera work was
pretty good.
Was really good.
So did I.
But yeah, payoff, everything else they mentioned was, yeah, I thought it was spot on. But I don't feel angry about this film, or I don't have like such a negative to say about this film. I just didn't think it was much to talk about.
Cool. Let me give Fizz a ring so we can actually get his movie rating. We have missed him, but let's ring him and see if he answers, so we could get his contribution to the league table.
See, I couldn't ring because I don't have service. Oh.
I hope he picks up. Mr. Man.
What's up?
We are recording.
What's going on, everyone? How's everyone doing?
Good, thanks.
Yeah, we just called you real quickly just to get your movie, your rating on this one, so we can, you know, draw it up on the league table. We don't want to make this decision without you, so it's very important to hear what you think.
No, of course, definitely. I just want to say, I'm sorry I couldn't be there today. Literally came back from holiday, and yeah, man, mosquitoes, man.
Yeah, it happens, man. But yeah,
done my body dirty, man. I wasn't protected properly in it, so. I know for next time, but definitely won't happen again. I will be there on the next episode for sure. But my rating for this film, I gave it 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
Wow.
10.
I'm not even going to ask you to go into it. If it's up to you if you want to, I don't know, but 8 out of 10?
I mean, it was one of those films that, I could relate to it a little bit, especially from Tashi's perspective.
You're toxic now.
Was at the top of her game.
Oh, yeah, the injury.
Getting injured. And, remember me getting my injury all them years ago, Ozzy.
Yeah.
So I definitely felt that. But I'm not going to lie to you, all three of them, they're all completely messed up. It's so crazy. Like, the love triangle that was experienced in this, but as well as the character development, like, it was insane. The cinematography as well, absolutely sensational. The kind of angle that we were getting, when they were playing tennis, whether it was the ball or literally first-person view from the players themselves. That was absolutely amazing. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, that's what we spoke about as well. So we're going with 8 for his. I'm just going to wrap up with Ash, and we'll let you know. You'll find out when you watch the episode what we gave it, yeah?
Sweet.
All right. Thanks, mate.
Thanks.
Talk to you later.
Take it easy.
Why did I say thanks, mate? I still think I'm at work. So he's gone with 8 out of 10. Ash, what are you giving it?
I'm surprised about that. It's really hard because, this hasn't been particularly positive for me, but I'm not, like I said, I'm not angry at it. So a 7 out of 10. And purely as well coming out of the film and hearing what the director has to say about just all the director's work is basically the characters have no existence outside of the screen. And it's like, okay, if I knew that going into it, I might have enjoyed it a lot more. So 7 out of 10. 7
out of 10.
Yeah.
So I've gone with, surprisingly, the lowest one here today. I've gone with, actually not that low. It's not that low. 6.9. She said 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
6.9. I've gone with 6.9. I can see that, IMDb, Rotten Tomatoes, I've gone higher on this one. I'm seeing Film of the Year. I'm very confused as to how this was Film of the Year. I feel like we didn't get as much from it as what I expected. And I just felt I lost interest towards the end. There was no consequences for anyone despite the nonsense that was going on. And we were just left with a lot of questions. That could be on purpose, like we said, by the director, because that might be his style. But for me, it's not what I was looking for in a movie. But there were certain good parts. That's why I can't give it like a 5 or even a low 6. There were certain good parts in the film where I thought, oh, just getting a bit spicy, or just the way they were executing some of the lines that were given to them, I thought was great. And the cinematography was 10 out of 10. So I can't absolutely just say it's rubbish. It's not 6.9.
Yeah, I just don't think it was like our thing. But I feel like there's people out there that would really enjoy
his is one of them.
Yeah, but would find this intensity in it, and it wasn't there for me.
So overall, that gives us a movie score of 7.3. That just makes it takes the film to 7th place, battling with Saltburn. So it would either be 7th or 8th, because Saltburn was rated at 7.3 as well.
Okay.
So would you say this is higher or lower than Saltburn?
I'd probably say Saltburn's higher.
I'd say Saltburn's higher as well.
I enjoyed it a bit more, and it had a bit more meat in it.
So then that means Challengers is 8th on our list, our all-time list. I'll remind you, our all-time list, we have at number 1, Dune Part 2. Number 2, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Number 3, Avatar: The Way of the Water. Number 4, Oppenheimer. Number 5, Creed. Number 6, John Wick. Number 7, Saltburn. Number 8, Challengers. Number 9, Equalizer. Number 10, Wonka. Number 11, Barbie. Number 12, Super Mario Bros. Movie. Number 13, Argyle. Number 14, The Boogeyman. So that's for this season. That's for our all-time. For this season, 7.3, it will take it to 3rd place. So Dune is 1st, Dune Part 2, Saltburn is 2nd. Then we have Challengers. Then we have Wonka. Then we have Argyle.
Wonka, I'll get you back up there. I don't know how.
No, keep it. But to be fair, this is better than Wonka for me anyway. So 7.3 is deserved. But yeah, that is it, guys. Thank you very much for watching and tuning in. I know it was only me and Ash today, but we appreciate you guys watching. Remember to comment, like, subscribe, and share with family and friends. as we try to reach 300. Thank you so much, guys.
Thanks, guys.
See you later.
Bye.